If you're advertising on Facebook and you think that the iOS 14 update is going to crash things, well, fortunately, you're wrong, except for maybe my drone I just accidentally parked into the wall. But there's something really exciting coming on Facebook that not many advertisers know about. And the cool thing is that so far it's converting better than anything else I've seen in a long time, and it's 100% iOS 14 proof. Now, it's not available in the Ads Manager just yet, but there's a way to start using it right now, which is why I'm recording this video, because I believe it's something that all advertisers should know about. I personally had to dig deep into the API documentation to discover this myself. So if you do know any advertisers, please tag them below in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. In fact, if you comment below, I'll also send you a free Facebook ads tool that I created via Messenger. More on that later on. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Wilke de Krij. I'm the founder of Connectio, and some people call me a Facebook ads nerd, or as entrepreneur.com called it, a Facebook ads expert. Either way, I know a thing or two about running Facebook ads. I personally spent over $3 million of my own money on the platform, and I've been running a ton of split tests to see what works and what doesn't work. And what's probably good to know is that I'm not some kind of guru who's running an information style business selling courses, which allows me to share this kind of stuff for free without holding back. Now, for transparency, I do run a business called Connectio, in which we've helped over 20,000 advertisers get more results from their Facebook ads. For example, we've been recommended by people like Roland Fraser over at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, by Tim Burr, by Neil Patel, and many others. In this video, there's nothing for sale here, so that's not about that. Like this video, I just want to share value. If you do want to buy, I do have a used drone. I only used it once, so feel free. But as you probably already know, Facebook ads isn't particularly easy, right? I mean, it took me quite a while to get it, but I'm not going to bother you with all the, my many failed attempts or my zero to hero story, none of that. So let's skip the BS and dive right in, all right? So how do you make your ads work? How do you make them profitable? Well, for you to get customers at a profit from Facebook ads, you need to do multiple things. First of all, an audience who has a problem that you're solving, right? You're targeting, right? Then you need to have the ads that grab the attention, your image, your video, whatever. And then you need to have the offer, right? Whatever you're selling. And all these three things are important, but if you put your ads in front of the wrong audience, the wrong targeting, it's obviously not going to work. I mean, for example, right? Let's say you sell toys for your dogs, right? I mean, you have a web shop, toys for dogs. Imagine either situation A, where you run a mediocre ad shown to someone who has 2 dogs, versus situation B, where you show the perfect Facebook ad with the perfect offer to someone who doesn't even own a dog. Who do you think is more likely to buy your product? Well, exactly, right? And that's why targeting is key. If your targeting is off, if you put your ads in front of the wrong people, none of the other things are going to matter. It's just not going to work, right? And that's why the same ad and the same funnel will have very different results depending on the audience that you're targeting. And as you probably already know, to create your targeting, you have various options, right? You could, for example, target based on interest. You could create lookalike audiences. You can retarget people who visit your website, etc., etc. And from all the options available, retargeting has always been the #1 most lucrative audience to target, even to the point that it's these days near impossible to make your campaign work if you don't have retargeting in place. I mean, anyone who's running Facebook ads for a while knows this already, right? For example, here's a screenshot of one of my retargeting campaigns. And as you can see, I spent almost 49,000 euros to make back 203,000 euros. Here's another one where I spent almost 32,000 US dollars to make back 223,000 US dollars as well. And the reason why retargeting works so well is because most people don't buy right away. I mean, it's not like someone's going to see your business or your website or your ad and they buy immediately the very first time. I mean, I wish it'd be that easy, right? Most people need to see you or your brand or your website or your name multiple times for them to consider taking action, right? Like making a purchase, which is well known as the rule of 7. However, retargeting as we know it is about to change forever. Why? Well, yep, you guessed it, the iOS 14 update. In summary, what this will mean is that the vast majority of iPhone and iPad users cannot be tracked by Facebook outside their mobile app, right? So let's say someone clicks on your ad, they're on Facebook and they click on your ad to go to your website. Facebook won't be able to identify who that person is, which also means that you won't be able to retarget those people as well. And even if people do allow to be tracked, which some will do, a more small percentage will, Facebook will still only be able to track them for 7 days, which means you can only retarget people for 7 days as well, which is a huge difference compared to the previous 180 days that we've been used to. Not to mention, you need to have a lot of traffic on your website to make sure your audience are big enough to even advertise to. Otherwise, Facebook won't allow you. And this means that for most advertisers, retargeting, which has been the most lucrative audience for years, won't work anymore going forward. And even worse, without this retargeting in place, it's extremely hard to make any campaign profitable. This isn't, some made up hypey thing. Do your research. This is very real. And even Facebook hasn't been able to stop Apple from executing on this, even though they did try. Right? Now, no reason to panic though, because there is an alternative, or at least there will be very soon, right? As mentioned before, there's a new type of audience being released that's just as lucrative as retargeting audiences, while I don't need to have a lot of traffic on my website, and it's completely iOS 14 proof. And there's a couple of other advantages as well, but I'll get to those in just a minute. And to understand how this new audience works, we first need to have a deeper look into another audience that's already been around for years. And because this new audience uses part of the technology, so it's really important to have a good understanding. First, going back to retargeting audiences, right? Why do retargeting audiences work so well? Well, because people have already seen you or your business, right? So you're not a complete stranger anymore, right? So at that point, they at least know you. They might even like or trust you or your brand. And that's why they convert so well. So my question to you is, what is the best way to get someone to know you or your business, or perhaps even like and trust you? Exactly, it's video, right? I mean, there's a reason why I'm recording this video for you today. Well, besides that, I had nothing else to do. But other than that, I'm here trying to provide value to you in this video, and in some shape or way or form, I hope that we connect a little bit so that maybe in the future you might become a customer of mine, right? That's how it works. After all, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is probably worth 1,000,000. Now here's what's cool. When you post a video on Facebook or on Instagram for that matter, or you create a video ad or anything like that, Facebook can actually track people watching, indeed, like how far they watch, how much they watch, even after the iOS 14 update, because it's all inside the Facebook platform. So it's not affected by iOS 14 whatsoever. And for years, Facebook has already given you and all advertisers the option to create what's called video engagement audiences, right? In other words, that's an audience that includes people who have watched a video that you posted on Facebook or Instagram. Again, it has been around for years, nothing new. This could be a video of yourself, or you just, something that you just posted. It doesn't have to be your own video. You can just post videos, and if people watch it, they'll be inside that audience. And in case you're not sure how to create an audience, you actually find that inside the audience section, inside your business manager, and there you can create those, right? So these video audiences are great in some areas, while there's a couple downsides as well. And just to be clear, again, this is not the new audience I'm referring to, but it's using part of the same technology, which is why it's good to cover this and understand this as well. Because one of the main benefits of video audiences are the segmentation possibilities, right? This is why these audiences have been a secret weapon for quite a few advertisers, including myself, because you can literally target people who've seen a certain percentage of your video, right? After all, if someone has watched the video for 50% of your video, they definitely remember you and your business way better compared to someone who's just, watch it for 3 seconds, and therefore if they watch it for 50%, they'll be more likely to become a customer. Plus, you can include people who've seen your video over the last 365 days. So even if someone watched the video half a year ago, you can still include them in the audience, you can still retarget them. However, it's not all roses and sunshine, because there's some major flaws in this audience as well, the reason why most people aren't using it. For example, unless you only post once a year, or you only have a few videos, if you have multiple videos, it's going to be extremely time consuming to create, because you literally have to select every video one by one. There's not even a select all button. And then if you want to create multiple audiences, you'll have to reselect all the videos every single time. You can go on for pages and pages depending on how many videos you have. Now, in case you think that's not a big deal, here's the problem. Because of this, you're probably going to select the first 10, 20, 30 videos, and that means your audience is not going to include everyone who has watched the video, right? So if someone watched the video in the past, you're just going to capture part of the potential. And that's also a reason why a lot of advertisers are actually complaining about this, right? To make it even worse, even after you went through all that and you clicked all those videos one by one, and you created the audience, and then the next day you upload a new video to Facebook or Instagram, guess what? You'll need to have to go back in, edit the audience, select a new video, or even worse, recreate a new audience, and go over the whole process again and select all those videos. Now, in case you're somewhat confused right now, don't worry, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm recording this video. So let's do a quick comparison between the retargeting audiences, the old school retargeting audiences, video audiences, again old school, and the audience that I want to talk about. I'll grab the whiteboard and we'll get started. All right, got the whiteboard fully prepared, but before I continue, I want to ask you, please judge me on the content and not on my drawing skills, because it's a mess, but that shouldn't be a problem. So what I want to talk about is I want to compare old school retargeting. This says old school retargeting. If it's not readable, I'll ask the team to add it in space, like old school retargeting. Cool. Old school retargeting compared to video audiences, compared to the new audience that I actually discovered, and I want to share with you in a little bit. I want to cover like the pros and the cons of each, so that way you'll see what I mean with all this and what I've been working towards, right? So obviously the old school retargeting, what I mean with old school retargeting is pixel-based retargeting, where you want to retarget people who visit your website. Is obviously definitely not iOS 14 proof. We're going to lose a lot of the opportunity there. Facebook is not going to be able to track most of the iOS users, which in my own campaigns is like 1/3 of the audience. That's going to be a major issue. Video audiences fortunately are iOS Pro, like they work pretty good, right? Another important thing is accuracy. Like, is Facebook's able to tell, with accuracy if someone should be on the audience. Now, well, for similar obvious reasons, their old school retargeting definitely not accurate. But fortunately, the video audiences are accurate. Facebook is able to see precisely who has seen any of their videos and how far as well, right? If we're talking about completeness, like making sure that you will reach the full audience, right? Again, old school retargeting is not going to be complete because a lot of the visitors on your website are not going to be included. But even for video audiences, the way it currently works, because again, you're not going to select all the videos that you posted in the history of time, and if you're not going to select all the videos and someone has watched your video because they came across it somewhere, they're not going to be in the audience, so you're missing out. So unfortunately, it's not going to be complete. In terms of retention, with the old school retargeting, even if we're able to retarget, it's going to be 7 days, right? Which for video audiences is going to be 365 days. So that's pretty damn sweet, I would say. Is it automated? Like obviously with old school retargeting, you set it up, you install the pixel, Facebook will do the heavy lifting. Someone new has come to your website, fine. You create a new website page on your website and someone goes it, fine. You don't need to do a thing. It is fully automated. It's really, really awesome. Unfortunately for video audiences, you will have to again and again update your video audience, select the new videos you posted, and it's going to be an ongoing hassle to focus on that. And because it's also automated, old school retargeting is therefore simple and fast, right? Even though it might not be accurate, but it is really simple. Like once you set it up, obviously you need to, install your pixel, but after that, easy peasy, and anyone can do it. Video audiences, simple and fast, not so much. Again, it's simple, but it's definitely not fast. You need to do a lot of manual work to make sure you can do it. And as for segmentation, as for old school retargeting, I would actually say I'll do a small V and a small X, because there's some segmentation, but I personally prefer the segmentation of the video audiences, where you can see exactly like, hey, people who watched my video for like 75%, and people actually watched it, for example. So that's what we currently have. That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, the new audience that I have discovered that I want to talk about is actually awesome. Here's why it's awesome. Because first of all, it is completely iOS 14 proof, right? That's pretty awesome. It is completely accurate. Like Facebook will be able to tell for every person, have they watched that video. Plus, it's also complete, like you won't be missing out on any of the potential like you do with any of those audiences. And it also, just like video audiences, has 365 days retention. Again, even on iOS 14, doesn't matter whether someone is on iOS or an iPhone, Apple, or even an Apple TV, although I don't know who would browse Facebook on an Apple TV, that's a different story. So it's also fully automated, right? You don't have I figured out if you set it up once, you don't have to edit it, and it's really, really cool, because that's also really simple and fast. Like once I show you how easy it is, you'll love it as well. Plus, it has full segmentation, which I love as well, especially as a data-driven person. I know if I segment my audiences, I get much higher returns. And that's, now you can see, if you're running ads on Facebook, now you can see why it's so important for me to share this with all of you, this new audience. And right now there's a question mark right here, because yes, I'm a marketer, I can deny it, so I want to create the suspension as well. So if you have a thought or a guess what that audience is, please put it in the comments, what the audience is going to be, for those of you who already figured it out. Because right now you're probably wondering what that new audience is, like how it works, etc., etc. So as mentioned, it's actually not available in the Ads Manager yet. I had to personally go deep into the API documentation to find it. I will be running various tests with this audience, and oh boy, in case you're wondering how good it is converting, I'm actually going to record a video inside my ad account, inside my ads manager, to show you exactly how it will convert and all the details and all that. It's no reason to keep anything back. In fact, if I get enough comments on this very video, I'll drop another video here in a few days, in which I'll share exactly what the new audience is, how I'm using it, and the results I'm getting from it as well. So there's no catch or any opt-in or anything like that. If there's enough response, I'll drop it here on this Facebook page. You just follow the Facebook page and you'll find it within a few days. And then since I like to over-deliver, if you comment down below on this very post and below this very video, you'll also get a Facebook message with free access to a Facebook tool that we have made for you to have inspiration for your Facebook ads as well. Now, this isn't some kind of like funky AI tool or anything like that, but if nothing else, it could help you as a source of inspiration for new ads to create for your business. Completely free if you comment down below, so make sure to comment below. And again, if you know any advertisers who should know about this, then please comment, tag them below as well. I'm looking forward to see you in the next video, if again we get enough comments, and I'll talk to y'all soon.